Yeah,
Yes.
stucco removal is messy. I mean, so that's one of the things. It doesn't come down in panels or planks. It comes down in little chips and pieces.
Yeah.
And so while stucco removal oftentimes can be very easy if it's an ephes type
Right.
stucco that has the foam behind it, then oftentimes that will come off fairly easy. If it's the type of stucco that is plastered to old brick, well, that's probably not coming off, and that's probably something that we're going to have to go over the top of. So when you do have stucco, you want to identify what is directly behind the stucco. Does it sound hollow when you knock on it? That could be a foam-backed stucco, like an ephes system, EIFS if you want to Google it. And then, or if it's on a much older home, it could be stucco that's right over the top of brick. And that type of stucco, you don't want to remove that. You'd probably want to go over the top of that if you do have to, change the look of the house away from stucco.
Well, one of the first things that's important to know about stucco is here in Colorado, we think that we're a dry, arid climate, and we sort of are, but we're not Arizona or New Mexico, and there's still moisture in the air. And typically new construction stucco, or the stuff that's been done, which is the ephes in the last 20 years, that's a foam board that's applied over the top of your sheathing that then has either some scratch coat or maybe even a spray-on layer of stucco. It's really easy for moisture to get trapped behind the walls.
Moisture is going to find its way in the same place as it does with siding, and that's around your windows and any place where you have some sort of penetration, a light or a hose bib, any of those places where there's caulking and the moisture can get back in behind there.
Wicking up at the base of walls. And what happens is there's no place for it to go in a stucco installation.
Stucco doesn't breathe like some of our other traditional forms of siding.
And so we tear it off all the time, only to find that we have rotted sheathing and lots of times rotted framing members because those walls just hold moisture. I mean, so you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so because stucco is like a monolithic coat, it's all sprayed on the same day, it dries and it hardens, and then once moisture finds its way behind the stucco at a window opening, and those openings are still reliant on the same caulking, and as soon as that caulking is cracked and water gets in behind it, there's no place for it to go. And it hangs out in your wall and it just stays wet in there. And
it's not uncommon for us to find homes that are 5-10 years old that have modern stucco installations, and
the framing is powder. It's just pulverized.
Yeah, just disintegrates. And the way that you get that indicator is usually there's some bubbling on the wall, you'll see chipping on the walls, you'll see cracking,
interior
of the
damage.
stuccos.
That's a lot of have been
interior moisture damage.
People, seeing water on the floor.
So we can demo all of that. We can. Now, I think it's important to note that a demo of your stucco exterior is a little more costly. Partially just because as we're taking this stuff off the wall, you have to spend a little more time and attention to detail so that you're not ripping the other things apart as you go, because we want to preserve any of the substrate that's in good condition, right? So we don't want to put you in the place of having to replace all of your sheathing, hopefully just replacing those portions where there has been moisture damage. So it takes a little bit of extra time, it's a little more costly. But we can get all the way down to a smooth substrate, evaluate that, and we've been doing it for a long time, so we know what to look for. And then we can make sure that you have a nice, smooth substrate for your new cladding to adhere to the wall. We typically aren't fans of putting stucco back up. We take a lot of it down because it doesn't perform that great.
And it's not easy to patch. A lot of people get cracks in their stucco, and they want us to come out. They call us to see if we can patch those cracks, and of course we cannot. You need a stucco company to specifically do that, and
patching isn't solving the problem. So if anybody wants to come out and just patch your stucco, really that's just putting lipstick on a pig. I mean, it's a cosmetic fix. Really what you have to do is find what the cause of that problem is, which means that you have to remove large areas. And any stucco company that's worth their salt is going to come out and they're going to say, oh, we're not going to patch that little 2-foot square area. We're going to be removing this entire wall and then re-stuccoing that wall. And then you have to ask yourself, do I want to place myself in this position again? Yeah. And most people don't want to, so they call Bellwether and we come and take that stuff off and put new, gooder stuff up.
Just the goodest.
Goodest, yes.